Welcome back to Moonlight Reel. Today I'm going to talk about Ouija boards, or talking boards, or spirit boards as you might call them if you don't have the patent. Hasbro, I think, has the patent, and they're kind of expensive. They're like 20 bucks, and it's just a piece of cardboard with some cool writing on it. So if you don't want to pay that much, but you're curious to try a spirit board, you can make your own. I've actually made two. This one I made a long time ago. This is a very simple spirit board that anyone could make. It's just a piece of poster board, and then I drew out all of the letters separately so that if I flubbed one, I could just throw away the little paper circle it's on and write it again. And I painted my poster board, and then I placed all of my letters and glued them on. And I also glued on these symbols. And it was so long ago that I made this that I don't actually remember what most of the symbols mean. You want to see? This is a wizard hat and an eyeball, and I don't even know. And I also have a friend who I was Ouijaing with decided to add an I don't know to it. And I think I was annoyed at that friend for like putting something else on all my hard work. So anyway, to make it slidable, I put clear contact paper, which you can just buy at the grocery store, over the poster board. You can kind of see the edge down here. Oh, it's all mucky underneath. So that is the, whoa, camera. That is the spirit board that I made when I was much younger and did not have access to many craft supplies. And this is the planchette. It's made out of foam board from the dollar store. And I think I borrowed the planchette from a friend who owned an official Ouija board and just traced it and cut it out. And then glued pieces from a cut-up sock on the bottom so that it would slide on the contact paper. And it's pretty good. I mean, if you want to contact the great beyond, you know, you don't have to pay more, and you can just make your own, and you can make it personal by adding your own symbols, even if, in my case, I forgot about them later. But I think this is a pretty cool spirit board. However, a couple of weeks ago, now that I have way more craft supplies in my house, I made a new one that I think I'm going to try to sell at the convention. And it looks like this. It's made out of a piece of wood that I found in the garage. You can get really nice pieces of wood at like craft stores, Michael's and Joann's, but they're like $10 or $15 or even more. So I was happy I found a perfectly good piece of wood in the garage. And I put the letters on, I penciled them from a stencil, because if you don't use a stencil, they might end up like the wrong size or different sizes or all wobbly. So I did them with, penciled them in, and then I wood burned the letters so that they're sunken into the wood, and then filled in the space with white paint and glitter. And the glitter is coming out in some places, so it's not perfect. And then I painted the whole thing galaxy, because I didn't know what to paint it, and my friends were there, and they said, why not do it galaxy? So I looked up a galaxy tutorial, and I did the whole thing galaxy, and I think maybe I went a little bit overboard, but who cares? It's all shiny. And this is the planchette, which is just a wooden heart that I bought at some craft store, and I cut out some felt circles and put on the bottom. And both pieces are topped with jewelry making resin. That it's 2 bottles, and you mix them up, and then they harden to be clear. So it slides around. So this is the evolution of spirit board making, from perfectly basic that anybody could do with like no stuff that they didn't buy at the grocery store, up to really kind of cool that you can buy, that you can make if you have enough money to buy some cool paints and resin and stuff and a wood burner from a craft store. And I think they're both good boards, and I think they're both like, either one, they would probably work equally well for contacting the great beyond. So I wanted to show those off, but the punchline to the story of me making spirit boards is that I can't actually use them. If I'm putting my fingers on here, no matter if other people are too or not or what, it doesn't move. Whatever it is that's in a person's brain that makes the pointer move, I don't have any of it. So I can't hear any messages from the great beyond, even though I want to, and because I'm curious, and even though I think it's cool to make spirit boards. So this has been the funny story of me making spirit boards. If you ever make your own, please tell me about it in the comments and tell me about what spirits you talked to and what they said. However, I will give a warning. Anytimes, like back in the past, I was able to do spirit boards and get messages, so I did it with some friends a long time ago before I stopped being able to move the dumb thing. And the messages we got didn't make a whole lot of sense, so I didn't get any actual, like, wisdom. I just got gobbledygook. So I still think it's really cool, because you never know what you're gonna get, and you're, like, talking to some, I don't know what it is. But I think you should not take it seriously, the messages you get, because you never know, sort of like being in a chat room with some random person, you never know what it is. You never know if it's a real person, or like a real spirit, or just your brain, and you never know what they're gonna say and if it's gonna be true or not. So pursue the great beyond, but be skeptical, because it might just be noise that you're getting through. Alright, so that's this video. Tell me in the comments if you have any cool spirit board stories, if you ever tried one and you heard something cool or something dumb or complete nonsense, or if you made your own board because you didn't feel like paying for one, although the official ones do come in glow in the dark, and I am such a sucker for glow in the dark things. I like them. I should make one that's glow in the dark. Okay, end of video. I've run out of things to say, and I will just start talking about how cool glow-in-the-dark stuff is. I will see you later for another video at a future time. Goodbye!